Well, there are two ways to look at this question specifically. One way is to look at what for OAU and AU were established in the first place, and then measure up vis-a-vis what they have performed and what their mandate was. The second prism through which you can also assess is counterfactual questions, I call them. What if OAU or AU were not in existence? So these are two perspectives that we can look at. If we look at the first one, you remember that OAU was established during a time where Africa was under colonialism and under apartheid. Yeah. And the two most important successes of OAU are to remove colonialism and apartheid from Africa, and it has played a very important role in achieving this. These were some of the prominent mandates of OAU. Now, if you look at it from a ceiling where OAU should have achieved what it should have achieved, or where AU, the African Union, should have been in terms of mandate from the ceiling, then you cannot avoid from being disappointed. You will be dismayed by the performance. But if we look at it from the floor where we started in 1963 when OAU was established, Africa has gone very far away from that. It has progressed significantly. That some of the progress is attributable to OAU and AU. I mentioned two. The anti-colonialism struggle was spearheaded by OAU, and also the anti-colonialism, anti-apartheid was spearheaded by OAU. That's the reason why when OAU was not able to address the other questions, the other mandates, to discharge its other mandates, then the need to transform from OAU to AU was necessary. And partly because most of OAU leaders, including in our region, in Ethiopia, for example, Imperial Haile Selassie, and in Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta, were at the leadership of OAU. And they were active in anti-colonialism, including in removing British colony in Kenya. But above that, above all, they were also very active in the anti-apartheid struggle. They supported Mandela, they supported Robert Mugabe, and so on. All those icons of Southern Africa who were fighting anti-apartheid, the anti-apartheid struggle. Now, while they did this one at their foreign policy on Africa, that they were very progressive on African, Pan-African issue, but they were regressive on internal issues. They were not as democratic as you wish them, which was one of the demands of OAU. They were not in terms of developmentalist, in terms of economy, that they were more into foreign policy in terms of Pan-African system, supporting the Pan-African struggle against apartheid and colonialism. The problem was they were not sufficiently enough equipped or Pan-Africanist in terms of how they deal with their own people. So, as we know, for this reason, most of the Pan-Africanist leaders who were anti-apartheid and anti-colonialism ended up into dictatorship. And as a result, the name that OAU is a club of dictators become an important description. And it has some truth, definitely. It should not undermine what has been achieved by OAU. But at the same time, we shouldn't also allow that OAU has to say that OAU has achieved what it should have achieved.